So, when you think about Thailand's economy, what comes to mind? It's probably beautiful beaches and that bustling tourism scene, right? But, behind all of that, there's this absolutely massive industry that's one of the nation's most powerful economic engines. And it's an industry that faced a near total collapse and is now fighting its way back. We're going to dive into this incredible comeback story. To really get a sense of the scale we're talking about here, let me ask you this. What single industry could possibly be so vital that it makes up a staggering 13% of Thailand's entire GDP? And I'll give you a hint, it's not just leisure tourism. It's something bigger, way more targeted, and a whole lot more lucrative. And here's the number at the very heart of our story. 180 billion baht. That's the estimated loss the country was staring down when this industry just ground to a halt. And we're not just talking about lost ticket sales here. This number represents a shockwave that rippled through the entire supply chain, from high-tech IT companies all the way down to local caterers. It's a huge figure, and it represents a huge challenge. So, what are we talking about? We're talking about the MICE industry. That's M-I-C-E for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. Now, this isn't your average vacation. This is high-value business travel, where international companies and organizations from all over the world come together. It drives enormous revenue, and, maybe just as importantly, it seriously boosts a nation's reputation on the global stage. Okay, so to really understand this comeback, you first have to get what was lost. You see, Thailand wasn't some newcomer to this game. It was, and it still is, a MICE powerhouse, an industry that was built up over decades, and against some pretty serious odds, too. What's really fascinating about this timeline is the sheer resilience it shows. The whole thing kicked off with private sector ambition back in the mid-90s. Then it managed to survive the 1997 Asian financial crisis, a period that, you have to remember, just crushed so many businesses. But instead of collapsing, it got more professional, leading to the creation of the official Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or TCEB, in 2004. And by the 2010s, boom, it had cemented its place as a leader in the region. This is a story of strength. And this chart right here really just puts that economic weight into perspective. That 13% slice, that's not just a number on a page. We're talking about jobs, we're talking about infrastructure development, and a massive inflow of foreign money. It just goes to show how deeply intertwined the MICE industry is with the overall health of the entire Thai economy. So here's the bottom line. When this sector gets threatened, the whole country feels it. And a threat is exactly what came next. After decades of growth, of building all that resilience, the industry didn't just hit a little speed bump. No, it hit a wall. It was a perfect storm of challenges that nobody saw coming. The biggest blow, of course, was the pandemic. Before COVID, MICE was this thriving high-growth engine. I mean, in some parts of the world, it accounted for over a third of all disposable income. Then, almost overnight, it came to a complete standstill for 2 solid years. Every conference, every exhibition, every single incentive trip, poof, canceled. The lights just went out. But the pandemic wasn't the only problem. As the world started to think about reopening, the neighborhood had changed. While Thailand was the established leader, you had these emerging competitors like Vietnam and the Philippines getting way more aggressive. They were offering lower costs and brand new, state-of-the-art facilities. Suddenly, the race got a whole lot tighter. And as if all that wasn't enough, you just start piling on these other threats. You've got global economic jitters making companies hesitant to spend big money, the constant worry about political instability that can damage international trust overnight, and just the sheer difficulty of keeping up with lightning-fast tech changes. It was a true multi-front battle for survival. So, faced with this perfect storm, how does an industry even begin to fight back? Well, you don't do it by sitting around and waiting for things to go back to normal. You do it with a clear, innovative, and aggressive playbook. So let's break down exactly how Thailand is building its way out of this crisis. Thailand's response wasn't just a single idea. It was this really smart 3-pronged strategy. First, they focused on technology. Second, they leaned hard into the global demand for sustainability. And third, they doubled down on creating absolutely world-class health and safety protocols to rebuild that crucial trust. This wasn't a defense. This was a full-on offense. First up, technology. The strategy is called MICE 4.0, and it's all about future-proofing the industry. This means they are fully embracing hybrid events, making sure venues have blazing fast broadband, and developing these sophisticated virtual meeting rooms. The whole idea is to make events more resilient and accessible to a global audience, whether they're physically in the room or tuning in from the other side of the world. All right, next up, sustainability. And this number right here is absolutely crucial. A recent survey showed that a massive 85% of MICE stakeholders in the Asia-Pacific region want to learn more about sustainability. This is no longer some niche, nice-to-have interest. It's a core business demand. Organizers and attendees want to know that their events are environmentally and socially responsible. And honestly, this quote from the research just sums it up perfectly. Sustainability is a game changer. It's not just about being green anymore. It's about gaining a real competitive edge, attracting those world-class brands, and building a much more resilient industry for the future. Thailand saw this shift happening and made it a central pillar of its revival plan. And finally, trust. To bring back big international events, you have to guarantee safety. And Thailand has been incredibly thorough here. They've implemented everything from contactless tech like QR codes to WHO-approved venue standards. They even developed these bubble and seal protocols for events, basically creating safe environments to rebuild the confidence of global planners. The key takeaway here, it's all about making safety something you can actually see and verify. So, with this innovation playbook in hand, the industry isn't just aiming for recovery, not at all. It's forging a bold new vision for 2030, looking at all the long-term opportunities to really cement its position as a leader. Now, what's so smart about this is how it outlines a multi-layered growth strategy. It's not just about doing more of the same old thing. It's about expanding MICE hubs to new cities outside of Bangkok, targeting these high-growth niche markets like green and creative events, and fostering really deep partnerships between the government and the private sector. And underpinning all of it, massive investment in mega projects like high-speed rail and bigger airports. And when you put all these strategies together, they all point to one clear, incredibly ambitious national goal: to not just compete, but to definitively secure Thailand's position as the #1 MICE destination in all of Southeast Asia. That is a bold statement of intent. Which, of course, leaves us with this final critical question. The industry has proven its resilience, and it has a clear, innovative playbook for the future. But in a world full of disruptive technology and fierce regional competition, will it be enough? Can these strategies truly redefine Thailand, not just as a place to host events, but as a global leader that's actually shaping the very future of how we all meet, connect, and do business?